What's up, you beautiful bastards? It's your boy Elmer, back with another steaming pile of WTF on the cursing news. Today, we're diving headfirst into the wacky world of inventions, specifically, the ones that make you question humanity's sanity. Buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to explore some of the dumbest inventions ever patented. Alright, imagine this. It's 3 a.m., you're trying to sleep, and suddenly, you hear a cat. But not just any cat, mind you. A cacophony of meows, like a choir of alley cats, decided to hold a concert right outside your window. You get up, groggy and pissed off, ready to unleash a string of curses that would make a sailor blush, only to discover there's no cat. Instead, you find this contraption, this monstrosity of metal and gears, emitting the most god-awful feline symphony you've ever heard. Congratulations, you've just encountered the cat mewing machine, a device so bafflingly stupid, it deserves a Nobel Prize in pointlessness. This unholy abomination was the brainchild of someone who apparently thought, hey, you know what the world needs? A machine that annoys the crap out of everyone within a 5-mile radius. I mean, seriously, who wakes up one day and decides, I know, I'll invent a device that simulates the sound of a dying cat being strangled by a rusty trombone. That'll be a hit. It's like they took the concept of a white noise machine and said, screw relaxation. Let's traumatize people with the auditory equivalent of 1,000 scratching posts. And the worst part? This thing actually existed. Some poor souls had to endure the sonic torture of this mechanical feline monstrosity. I can just imagine the lawsuits, the restraining orders, the mass exodus of people fleeing in terror from this infernal machine. So, you're a parent in the 1930s living in a cramped apartment and you're thinking, man, I wish there was a way to give my baby some fresh air without, actually taking them outside. Well, fret no more because some genius invented the baby cage. Now, before you call Child Protective Services, let me explain. This wasn't some medieval torture device for infants, though it wouldn't be out of place in a horror movie. It was a literal cage, often made of metal that you would hang outside your window, with your baby inside. That's right, folks. Back in the day, people thought it was a brilliant idea to suspend their offspring several stories above the ground, like some kind of human bird feeder. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? It's not like the cage could fall, or the baby could get too hot or cold, or a flock of pigeons could mistake them for a giant fleshy pine cone. And let's not forget the psychological trauma. Imagine being a baby, trapped in a metal box, dangling precariously over a busy street. Talk about a recipe for a lifetime of therapy. The baby cage is a testament to the fact that just because something seems like a good idea at the time doesn't mean it actually is. It's like the inventor took one look at a bird cage and said, yep, that'll work for a baby. Okay, picture this. You're walking down a dark alley, clutching your bag nervously, when suddenly, a shadowy figure jumps out and demands your valuables. You freeze, your heart pounding in your chest. But then you remember, you have the anti-bandit bag. Now you might be thinking, so it's like a modern-day chastity belt for your cash? Nope, maybe it's rigged with tear gas or electroshock defense. Wrong again. The anti-bandit bag, in all its glory, was literally just a bag with a hole in the bottom. Yes, you heard that right. The ingenious security feature was that when a thief tried to snatch your bag, all your stuff would spill out the bottom, scattering across the ground. It's like the inventor thought, well, if they can't steal my money, they might as well get a nice workout chasing after my loose change and tampons. I mean, seriously, what's the thought process here? Oh no, I'm being robbed. Thank goodness I have this special bag that will ensure my attacker gets a good laugh as I scramble around in the dirt, desperately trying to collect my belongings. It's like trying to stop a shark attack by offering it a Band-Aid. The anti-bandit bag is a shining example of why you should always, always, always read the fine print before investing in any revolutionary security products. All right, folks, let's talk about the pedal-powered wheelchair. Now, I know what you're thinking. Elmer, you're being too hard on these inventors. Maybe this was an early attempt at an all-terrain wheelchair, and you know what? You're right. It's entirely possible that the inventor had good intentions. However, that doesn't change the fact that the pedal-powered wheelchair is like trying to put lipstick on a pig. That's also wearing a tutu and tap dancing on a unicycle. It's just fundamentally flawed from the get-go. I mean, let's break it down, shall we? A wheelchair is designed for people who have difficulty walking or using their legs. Pedals, on the other hand, require You guessed it, the use of legs. It's like someone said, hey, I know, let's take this device that's specifically designed to help people who can't use their legs, and then make it completely reliant on the use of legs. It's like trying to extinguish a fire with gasoline. It's like trying to teach a fish to climb a tree. It's like trying to, well, you get the picture. The pedal-powered wheelchair is a prime example of what happens when you have a great idea in theory but fail to grasp the basic practicalities of, well, reality. And finally, we come to the toilet mask, a device so baffling, so utterly perplexing, that it deserves its own wing in the cursing museum of dumb inventions. Now, you might be thinking, oh, like a mask you wear to avoid catching germs in a public restroom? And to that I say, my friend, you have far too much faith in humanity's ability to invent something useful. No, the toilet mask was intended to be worn while you were, well, on the toilet. The idea, as far as I can decipher from the patent drawings, which look like they were sketched by a drunken pigeon, was that the mask would somehow filter out unpleasant odors while you were doing your business. Now, I'm no scientist, but I'm pretty sure the human digestive system doesn't produce smells that are magically neutralized by a piece of cloth strapped to your face. It's like trying to stop a flood with a sponge. It's like trying to catch a hurricane in a butterfly net. It's like trying to, well, you get the point. The toilet mask is a shining example of why sometimes it's best to just accept the realities of life, however unpleasant they may be, because let's be honest, if you're worried about the smell of your own bodily functions, a mask is probably the least of your worries. And there you have it, folks, the most hilariously dumb inventions ever created. Remember, humanity's creativity knows no bounds, especially when it comes to pointless gadgets. If you enjoyed this trip down the weird side of history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And drop a comment below about the weirdest invention you've ever heard of. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop laughing at the madness of it all. See you on the next episode of The Cursing News.